Hi, Rashid. The meeting is live right now, but we haven't started yet.
Hello.
Meaning we don't have a quorum yet.
Correct.
Good to know I'm not the last one.
Nope. And I have not heard from Carla or Magdalene.
I'm just going to change the lighting.
It might be a quick meeting.
No, and it's been a while since we've met, right? Since November.
Correct.
Although with the Rec Foundation, I've seen you a few times, John Paul. Twice
True.
last week.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll be a fast meeting probably anyways, but be even faster if we don't get a quorum.
Oh, there's Magdalene.
Oh, got a quorum.
Hello.
Hello.
Shut it.
Jay, is it okay if we get started?
Everything's recording, so if you have a quorum, you are good to go.
Excellent. Commissioners, are you ready?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, let's do it.
All right. This is the Parks and Recreation Chair, Rashid Ali. I would like to make clear for the record of this meeting, and it should be reflected in the minutes, that this regular Parks and Recreation Commission meeting of January 25th, 2021 will be conducted pursuant to Governor Newsom's Executive Order N2920. This meeting will be held via teleconference, and Parks and Recreation Commission members will participate via teleconference. Those locations are not listed on the agenda and are not accessible to the public. The public is encouraged to listen to the Parks and Recreation Commission meeting live by going to the City of Woodland website at cityofwoodland.org/meetings. Any member of the public watching the live stream who wishes to make a comment on any item as it is being heard may submit an email to krista.bain@cityofwoodland.org prior to public comment on that item. Email comments submitted to be read into the record shall be no more than 3 minutes when read aloud. Please include the agenda item in the subject line. Chris, it would now be appropriate for you to conduct roll call. Each member must identify themselves during roll call.
Good evening, everybody. All right. Vice Chair Ali, are you here?
This is Vice Chair Ali. I am here.
Commissioner Martin, are you here?
Yes, this is Commissioner Martin. I'm here.
Commissioner Valkarinki, are you here?
I am here. This is Commissioner Valkaringi.
Commissioner White Snyder, are you here? All right. Commissioner White Snyder is not in attendance at this time.
Okay. I would now like to request that each member of the commission respond to these questions. Commissioner Martin, can you hear me well?
Yes, I can.
Commissioner Valkaringi, can you hear me well?
Yes, I can.
Does each member of the commission have a copy of the agenda for this meeting? Commissioner Martin, do you have an agenda?
Yes, I do.
Commissioner Valkaringi, do you have an agenda?
Yes, I do.
Chris, has the agenda been posted at a location reasonably accessible to the public?
Yes, it has.
Okay. The record should reflect that all commissioners are present except for Commissioner White Snyder for this teleconference and have indicated that they were able to hear the proceedings. At this time, I'm requesting that city staff introduce themselves and their positions so the record can reflect their attendance.
Good evening, Commissioners. I'm Christine Engel. I am the Community Services Director.
Hi there, I am Chris Bain. I am the Community Services Program Manager.
Hi, I'm Wesley Schroeder. I'm the Park Superintendent.
Okay. That's everyone. And now as we go through the agenda, I would request that before speaking, you identify yourself each time. For example, this is Commissioner Ali. Let the individual speak, please not interrupt. I would also ask that to the greatest extent possible, everyone mute their phones or laptops or computers so that we don't get unnecessary background noise. I would now like to advise all commissioners and city staff that any votes taken during the teleconference portion of this meeting must be taken by roll call. I would ask Chris Bain to take that role for any and all votes. Now we will begin with the agenda. To start off with the Pledge of Allegiance, Commissioner Martin, would you be able to lead us?
Sound might be up.
Commissioner Martin, you may be on mute.
I'm sorry. All righty, everybody stand. So, if we start, I pledge allegiance
To the
The
flag
flag of the
of the
United
United States of America
One
and
nation,
to the
Republic for which
for
we
which it stands,
and
one
one
nation
nation, under
under
God.
God,
God,
indivisible,
indivisible.
with
with
liberty
liberty and justice for all.
We need to work on that Pledge of Allegiance. we are not in sync.
Rashid, I see that Carla has joined us.
Hi, Carla.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello, Carla.
Nice to see you.
Thank you.
Would you like me to repeat the questions for Carla, or is it okay
Yes.
for her to just join?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Repeat the questions.
Hello, Commissioner Carla White-Snyder.
Hello.
Just confirming, can you hear me well?
Yes, I can.
And do you have a copy of the agenda, Commissioner Carla White-Snyder?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And let the record reflect that all commissioners are present now. And I think we're good to start. Is there anything else? Okay, do we have any communications from commission members or from staff?
So I think we start with public comment on E.
Oh, I totally missed public comment. Do we have
It's
any
okay.
public comment?
We don't. But
Okay,
I wanted to make sure we had the opportunity.
okay, good to know. I'll move on to item F, communications from commission staff, statements and requests. So I'll start with Commissioner Martin.
Mute, Magdalene. There you go.
Here I am. The question was, do I have any comments or statements? No,
Yeah.
I don't have any at this time. Thank you.
Okay. Commissioner Valkyringi, do you have any communications or comments for the commission?
I'll just note to the commission that I was invited to join the Woodland Rec Foundation. I accepted, and last week we had our first meeting. I had my first meeting. We actually had 2 meetings, and I think I'm voted in next month officially.
Congratulations. Awesome.
Thank you for joining.
Yeah, it's very exciting. I look forward to it.
How often do you meet? I'm just curious.
Well, I don't know, but I think about once a month or as needed. Last week, we actually needed to meet twice. The foundation was reviewing a contract that it needed to get through, and it had some questions at the first meeting, so we all agreed to hold a second meeting, and it worked out just fine. So I don't know how much more than that we meet, but I don't think it's any big burden.
Wonderful. And then Commissioner White-Snyder, do you have any comments or?
No. Welcome to John Paul on the Woodland Rec Foundation. The Woodland Rec Foundation is moving forward with our, I guess that's an yes then, with our work that we're doing on to get the girls' fast pitch fields out at the community center underway. So that's just a goal that they're working on. And so we'll keep you appraised as things go forward.
Wonderful. And then for me, I don't have an update for the commission. I did participate in the CDBG review panel with two members of the community, Carol and Marco, and with Dan Sokolow, I believe. He's a senior planner. And we, luckily, we were able to get all that done within one day instead of having 2 meetings over Zoom. And there were a lot of good programs that needed help. And I think we were able to do a pretty good job of splitting the allocated amount that we had for funding to everyone that was deserving. So that went well. That was the only update that I had while we were away.
Thank you for participating on that as well. I know John Paul had the pleasure for a couple of years, I want to say, to do that as well. And Dan really appreciates that help, and it also helps us have really an unbiased selection process.
Yeah, this was my second time, and it was a lot smoother and easier than the first time, because the first time there was a lot of learning about each program and what's entailed and what the needs are. But having been familiar with the process, it went a lot smoother. So happy to do it, and I'm happy to do it again if I'm asked. Okay, we'll move on to committee reports. We'll start with Facilities Committee. Commissioner White-Snyder, do you have any updates?
No updates at this time.
Okay. Program and Evaluation, which is me, don't have any updates at this time as well. Budget and Finance Committee, Commissioner Martin?
No, not at this time.
And then Urban Forest Committee, which is Commissioner Valkaringi. I haven't seen anything on my end, but not sure if you have any updates in for you.
No updates.
Okay. Volunteerism Committee, Commissioner Martin.
No updates at this time either.
And then for the Ad Hoc Committee, that would be Commissioner White-Snyder.
Yeah, there's nothing new on that at this time. Thanks.
Okay. We'll move on to the consent calendar and approve the minutes from November 23rd. Unfortunately, I was not able to attend, so I don't think I will be voting on this. But will the rest of you be able to take a look and see if everything looks correct?
Right, 7. Wait, right? Yeah. We have a 2, 1, 3, 0, 0, 0, 0, 2, 7.
Do we need to take can we take a motion to approve the consent calendar, the minutes from November 23rd?
Yep, I need a motion.
I'll second. Oh, I'll make the motion. I'm sorry. That was Chris. I thought that was Natalie. I will make the motion that we accept the minute.
I will second.
Okay, let me take roll for that. Yeah, I'm gonna take roll. Okay, Valkaringi,
Aye.
White-Snyder,
Aye.
and Martin.
Aye.
Okay, and abstaining was Ali, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right, got it.
Thank you. And then we'll move on to commission absence requests. And this will be for, I believe, February 22nd for our next meeting. And then if you do know of any dates that you'll be absent past that, please let us know.
This is Commissioner White-Snyder. I have no requests at this time.
This is Commissioner Martin. I have no request at this time.
And this is Commissioner Valkaringi. I don't have any requests.
And this is Commissioner Ali. I do not have any requests at this time. All right, we'll move on to staff report.
Excellent. You guys are making this really easy. I thought I would just touch on a few of the highlights from the quarterly report. This was presented to, actually, am I going in the wrong order? Is the quarterly first? Yes, it's first. I think in the packet, I'm confused. Anyways, so the quarterly report was presented to the city council last week, and this is for the second quarter of the fiscal year, and it covers October through December. So some of the highlights, a lot of them that came in front of this commission was renaming of Camarena Field to Bucanyani Field, the authorization of the agreement with Woodland Rec Foundation for constructing the softball fields. I'm not going to go through all of these, but to me, these are the really important. And also the MOU that was implemented with Woodland Joint Unified School District for the preparation of a youth master plan. We also, as you will see, did a lot of work at different parks and recreation facilities during this time. We did take advantage of the slow time. Historically, seasonally, this is a slow time, but also with COVID, it's a slow time for us. We're moving forward slower than we had anticipated, but, still making it with the replacement for the turf at the sports park. We have 2 more fields that are underway right now. They're supposed to be done in February, so hopefully that will happen. And then, there were some unique events that were focused around the holidays with Halloween and Thanksgiving and Christmas. And you will also see, we included in here some information on the programs that Dan Sokolow oversees that Rashid mentioned for grants and housing. So that is really all I have for the quarterly report. Are there any questions?
The only question I have is, do we have an update on where we are, the status of field usage? I mean, it changes every day. So how's it looking for next spring?
It's really hard to say in terms of, we have plans for each organization to be able to use different fields. But in terms of what they're going to be able to do, it really depends on what our daily count is per 100,000 people for COVID cases and our positivity rate. So we have to be able to move, I want to say, to orange for like softball to be able to be played outside, and for soccer games to be able to be played. Baseball, I want to say, is in the red tier. I gotta say, somebody has a TV on or something. Okay. So does that answer your question, Carla? Everybody has their fields that they're going to use, and I've been in contact pretty regularly with Little League, Cal Ripken, Girls Fast Pitch.
I've seen a lot of the communications. I was just wondering if you had anything newer. I think I'm probably a couple weeks behind on tracking that. I get fatigued.
No, so yeah, so in a meeting that I was in today with the county, we have a weekly call with the county and all the organizations in our county, and it was reported that we currently have about 21 cases per 100,000 people. And on a positive note, K through 6 could reopen, but they have to follow like a lot of different rules in order for that to happen. But in terms of the case count, for us though, I want to say, to move to the next tier, we can only have about 7.3 or 4 cases per 100,000, and we're right now at 21.
So we're a ways away yet. Okay.
Hard to say. Sometimes they also change like how it's calculated. When I look at the daily count, I think last night or even today, we were at like 64 or 69. And, but yesterday we were at 100 and something. So.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you. No, I do appreciate it.
You're welcome. If there aren't any questions on the quarterly report, then Chris and Wesley will give you an update on the monthly report.
All right, then I'll start with the parks. At Christensen Park, where the Cam 2 field was renamed, we moved the Bucanyani field sign over to that park, and now it is placed over kind of on the Walnut Street side next to the backstop of the field. At Regional Park, staff has moved probably around 200,000 yards of mulch. Now both sides of the walking path are mulched all the way to the end that's out there. And then at Spring Lake, they also installed several new benches on the green belts with the dog waste bags and garbage cans. There's also been a pigeon sterilization program that has begun out at Spring Lake. There are 5 new stations that are installed. Currently, they're just feeding to figure out the numbers of birds that we have out there to figure out how much feed we'll be actually needing to start these birds on a program. And then Arbor Day. We've decided on a day, March 6th. We will be at Crawford Park beginning at around 8:30 a.m. We'll be planting 50 trees, following COVID guidelines, mainly family units, and they'll be all assigned to their own trees. And we're hoping that we can get enough people out there to do it. This will be at, I believe it's 5 parks. And but we'll begin at Crawford Park. All the tree planting will be at parks, so everyone can stay easily away from each other and get some trees planted for Arbor Day. And then I know that one more thing I'm going to add here. I know that Carla is really interested in the restroom dividers for Clinard, and those were with doors, and those were actually purchased today. So we'll be getting those installed shortly.
Yay. Thank you so much.
All right. And that's all I have for.
Chris, before you start, I just want to kind of go into a little more detail on youth and adult sports, because I don't know that we've had this conversation or if everyone is aware of it. So under the current state guidelines, no games or tournaments are allowed at all. So the only thing that can happen is conditioning and drills. And even under, I think actually today, maybe some new guidance was supposed to come out. So we'll see if that has come out from the state, because that was what the plan was in mid-December. But they're saying too that, you can't play teams outside your league and this and that. So there really are big constraints for even moving forward with games of any sort. And I think that David Soldak emailed today from Davis Alliance saying that they have no approval from their league to play this spring. That was it.
This is John Paul. I wanted to thank Wes and his crew for getting benches and dog poop bags and receptacles out in Spring Lake. I wasn't the only one that noticed it. I did notice it, and I really appreciate it. But just keeping in contact with my neighbors, other people's mentioned it randomly without me having to prompt them. So it was noticed. It's really appreciated. Is that project complete at this point, or are you still working on it?
No, I think we're going to probably be able to add some more in the future. That was just what we tried to get done while we knew we had the funds in that budget right now. But I do definitely think we have more room to improve out there. It actually helps in that sense. I think that there is where we place them is a good place for people to stop and take a rest and a break. So, yeah.
Agreed. Have you put any thought into benches around the perimeter of the neighborhood? So along Road 102 or along
Yes.
the open part of 25A? That's
what we're working towards getting done. Yes.
That would be great. How many benches did you put out, by the way? I kind of lost count.
I want to say it was 6, but it might have been a little more than that. Okay. Off the top of my head, I think it was 6.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I think the neighborhood really appreciated it.
Good. Glad we could
before
help.
you get started, one more thing. Especially just because we're on the Spring Lake conversation. So something that we've been working on that will go to council a week from tomorrow is actually an increase to West Coast Arborist contract. And that includes a $50,000 increase just specifically to Spring Lake for tree care. And Wesley can go into more detail on the trees that you're intending to be covered under this, but we just wanted to give some focused attention to those trees right now while we can.
So we're gonna on that. We're gonna be focusing on the areas that are older right now, and we're gonna because those trees are starting to mature. Really, it's also the best bang for our buck with the contractor. And so we're going to focus on those areas and get those trees all pruned up and structurally more sound. We've been maintaining them, but they're starting to get to the point where it's beginning more difficult for our staff to keep up with those trees. So this will really help considerably out there.
Great. I have a question. Did the city council approve the landmark tree proposal?
Yes.
So all of the trees that were proposed were approved?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
And actually, you'll probably be seeing soon the signs will be being placed fairly soon on the public trees. The private trees or the ones on the schools will, I think David Wilkinson's working with the schools to get those taken care of.
Great, thank you.
All right, I had to change rooms because the room I was in, somebody else was on a Zoom and they were being really loud. So I had to change rooms. So if you notice in the recreation report, there was an additional report from Dallas who provided us a little update on the senior center programming. It was a little update because he never really provides anything in our recreation report. So he wanted to make sure that he let you guys know that there is now bingo being offered virtually. And it's something that they're doing every Wednesday at 10 o'clock. Bingo cards are sent through the Seniorgram. And so it was over 400 cards that were sent out to seniors. And the first time they had a small group, but from what he told us, all the seniors that have been participating are happy, very chatty, and excited to have some kind of normalcy into their lives. And with this, it also tailored in is that he was also helping some seniors and some older adults learn how to use and have an introduction to how to use Zoom. And so he would go and virtually or through an iPhone, he would sit with people on how to do Zoom. And several people were very appreciative of him taking the time to do that as well. Other virtual classes that he has reported to us is that are happening through the Senior Center include Rocksteady Boxing, Parkinson's Support Group, and the Prostate Support Group. So kudos to the Senior Center for continuing on and still being able to offer a few things. I wanted to discuss that we had the Dr. Martin Luther King event and with the virtual activities that we did. So this year, the city honored Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. a little differently in that virtual fashion. So we had asked the public to participate in 3 separate activities that commemorated Dr. King. And students in middle school and high school were asked to write a poem with a vision of peace. The winners of this, of the poetry contest were Lucas Sanchez, a 7th grader from Holy Rosary, and Talia Ray Cadena, a 10th grader from Woodland High School. And both of those 2 students read their poems at the January 19th City Council meeting. So if you saw that or if you didn't see that, it was really impressive to see the students read those. The next activity was community members were encouraged to create a sidewalk mural at home with a kind of portraying the vision of peace with Dr. King. And Joey Hernandez Hill, a 5th grader from Beamer, And that's in your packet as well. If you see that picture, you see his creation. And so he was selected for his artwork. And then finally, there was a virtual fun run and walk, which encouraged people to just get out. And with the weather that we've been having prior to rain, it was perfect timing. And we had selected a few of our winners. So we had Summer Holloman of the K through 6 age bracket, Tyler Lanier of the 7th through 12th bracket, Corey Owens, an adult, and Diana Hill as a 55 and up winner. So kudos to them. It was great. It was an interesting way to present this this activity. Definitely a challenge for us. And then the next thing, I just want something that's not in your packet, but I want to kind of go over how we are kind of bridging the intergenerational gap. So upcoming this next month, I also want to encourage you and your families to participate, is the Woodland Writes. And what that is we are encouraging the community of all ages to write letters, poems, cards, create drawings, whatever, and submit them to us. And we're going to distribute these letters to isolated and homebound seniors. So we're going to work with Meals on Wheels and try to get some of these out to even potentially some seniors who are in some of the homes. And these letters are just meant to show seniors who don't have the connection with the general outside public that they're cared about.
Are we promoting this letter writing?
Woodland Writes? Yes, it's currently on the social media, and then a press release is going to go out this week.
Oh, awesome.
So about 2 more weeks of it to be promoted. Staff came up with it on a whim, and they are definitely going to run with it.
I don't know if this is possible at all, but it would be awesome, not for every single one, but maybe 1 or 2 seniors where we can show them getting the letters anyway, or someone could record them getting the letters or their reaction to the letters or something like that. I think it'd be kind of nice. I've seen it other videos where, where someone's gone through something or they've gotten a bunch of letters from people that they don't know, and their reaction to seeing it and how they felt. It's just kind of, it's a good, I don't know if that's doable. If it's not, I was just kind of curious.
Well, we're going to see.
Great idea.
Yeah, it's a great idea. We're going to see how this pans out, and definitely kind of taking that ball and rolling with it.
Awesome. Love it.
Chris,
yes.
Go ahead, Rachid. Sorry.
Well, go ahead. No, that was it.
Was there anything, did anyone have any questions on the writing event? I want to segue to the next topic if there's still questions. Okay. I wanted to let everybody know too that we are starting our first big staff meeting tomorrow with talking about 4th of July. I have had conversations at the management level where we just don't think that it's going to be realistic to have a public event for 4th of July again this year, unfortunately. Even if we were to shoot off fireworks at Woodland High and we, limited the number of people inside, we're still encouraging people to get together and have parties. And it's hard to predict what the requirements are going to be in early July. So we'll be meeting tomorrow as staff to talk about alternatives to that. And then Chris, could you give like a short update on our brainstorming for our Cesar Chavez event?
Oh, yes. So real quick, today we had discussed doing kind of another 3-pronged virtual event. And this one's a little bit different that we're tweaking. It's where parents and families can sign up, where they're going to come to Heritage Plaza. They're going to be given some direction, but also produced with some seeds where they can do the seeds of change. And so they're going to be able to plant something and take them with them. The second piece to this is also there's going to be a grapevine, and be it that we all know Cesar Chavez was with the grapes, and this grapevine is also where we're going to give kids kind of drawings of grapes and what they envision for the future. And so we're going to put them up kind of displaying, and that way we can have a display of the children's vision of the future. And then the third piece was, so little stations throughout Heritage Plaza on that day on March 31st will be a canned food drive that we can donate to the Woodland Food Bank and food closet. And then, so we would expect if you're going to participate, please bring 2 cans that will be distributed. So it's kind of this whole little pronged activity, free of charge, obviously, but shouldn't take longer than a half an hour. So we'd have half an hour sign up slots, no more than, like each family would stay in its own unit and have, 5 to 10 families at the most in each slot.
Yeah, we'll probably have like 10 tables spread throughout Heritage Plaza. And then as each family leaves, the table will be wiped down and then the next family will arrive. We just need good weather. So, if anyone has any, other creative ideas that are socially distanced, we would appreciate you sending them forward as well.
So have there been any thoughts for 4th of July? You mentioned that there might not be fireworks show or anything like that. Has there been any thoughts around not opening it to the public, but just doing doing something that people can just see from their homes, or do you think this should encourage people to gather?
No, yes, it would encourage people to gather, and then the other thing too is it just wouldn't be equitable for the community. We can't have the fireworks show at Pioneer High School because of the proximity of the animal shelter, so we can only have it at Woodland High School, and so then you really just have a small portion of the community that would be able to see that.
Okay. And do you know what other cities are doing, like in terms of West Sac or Davis?
No, we haven't. Everyone probably is in the same boat right now. We do need to reach out to our colleagues and see what their plans are. But I don't see Davis having a fireworks show, and West Sac never has. And so, some of the things that we historically do, like the bike parade, we don't want to pull families together like that. Maybe we'll do another virtual fun run, but and we did talk about that. We've kicked that idea around a little, where we would actually purchase shirts, ahead of time, and people sign up and they can run, maybe like the 2 weeks leading up to 4th of July, or even they decorate their own bicycles and submit pictures. They do it like at home kind of thing. So we have some ideas. It's definitely not going to be the same. So 2022 is going to be like a bang up 4th of July. A really long fireworks show. It's going to be great. So we'll see what we can do.
If I think of ideas for any of those, I will definitely share. I'll do some research on my own here.
Thank you.
And
I'll reach out to the other directors. I haven't done that lately, from Davis and West Sac, to see what their plans are.
Got it.
Now, were you asking for ideas for 4th of July or another event as well?
We'll take your ideas for anything.
Oh, okay. Well, it's too bad that a drive up, 4th of July fireworks display wouldn't work. But like you said, you cannot control whether or not people are going to stay in their vehicles. So,
oh, yeah. And it's super hot.
Yeah, it is.
That's a lot. And I appreciate the temperature of 4th of July every year that I work it. I always know it's hot, but then it's cold at night. So like when we're cleaning up, but.
Are there any other questions from commission members or any comments from staff?
I have a question, but I'm changing the subject, so I wasn't sure if we're done talking about 4th of July. Christine, have you heard anything more about scheduling a community meeting for completing parks in Spring Lake? I know we had talked about that a couple of months back.
No, when we talked about it in November and I looked back at my notes, the thought was maybe that it would be sometime in spring, but I have not heard anything.
Okay.
We are on the non-Spring Lake side, though. and we're just working out the details. So I'm just going to tease you guys with it. We are working on being able to install 3 new bathrooms at parks, Ferns Park, Beamer Park, and then Harris Field, which you already knew about. But Beamer and Ferns have just been added to the list. It's kind of going to change a little, like all the big projects that we're planning to do this year, like the play structure projects, because those are really seasonal. We're still moving forward with everything, but we can't, we have to line it up so that the install is either completed before summer, which we don't have time to do public outreach, get the parts during COVID and complete it before May right now, or after summer. So we have a lot of projects in the work right now, but we're really excited to be able to replace the bathrooms at Beamer and Ferns. That does have to go to council still, but that's the direction that we're heading. We get a lot of complaints about the bathrooms at Ferns.
Beamer's not much better.
No.
Any other questions or comments from anyone?
My report was complete.
All right. Well, I think that about does it then. Our next meeting is February 22nd. If I missed anything, please let me know, but I'm going to say we're good to adjourn.
Excellent. Nice to see you all. Have a good night.
Wait, we need it first. Stop.
Oh, yes, we do. We do.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Okay. Well, I
I'll
motion we adjourn.
I'll second.
I'll bang my fake gavel.
Okay, hold on. Hold on, I need a vote.
Good one.
Belfranchi.
Good call, Chris.
Belfranchi.
Aye.
Martin.
Aye.
White Snyder. White Snyder, you're on mute. I need to hear you.
Aye.
And Ali.
Aye.
All righty. All right. Now we can adjourn.
All right.
All right.
Good night, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Nice seeing everyone.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.